Alrighty, what's going on, guys? TTorres back here for another video, and I get asked this question a lot, so I figured might as well make a video and address it. So one of the first questions I get is the Grom a great beginner bike? Yeah, absolutely. I think the Grom is a perfect beginner bike, whether you just want to ride a 125 or you want to move up to a bigger bike. I highly recommend you take the Harley-Davidson course to get your basic motorcycle safety course. If you're a veteran or a first responder, I think it's $100 to take the class. And then when you complete the class, you get a $100 certificate. So pretty much you take the class for free. Actually, I think it's $99, and then you get a $100 credit. So you actually make $1 taking that class. I believe we rode a 300 in the class. Great to teach you about safety, learning the bike, the friction zone for the clutch, front brake, rear brake. And it's cool to take you through different obstacles and different situations. If you were, had to stop suddenly, had to make a sharp turn, S-curve, and all kind of different stuff like that. So if you are a new rider, definitely go get your endorsement through Harley-Davidson rider safety course. Highly recommend it. Okay, so next off, a lot of people ask, what order should I do the mods in? So for me, I did the Chimera Intake. I'll have a link down in the description for that. It's a noticeable gain. But when you do your intake, I recommend you get an exhaust at the same time. And when you do that, go ahead and be prepared to send your ECU off. I did mine through DH Motoring, great company to work with. David's a cool guy, always reliable when it comes to me asking questions and giving feedback and stuff like that. So first off, like I said, I did the Chimera Intake, and then I did the Amazon exhaust. So I'll have a link down in the description to it. This is like 88 bucks, and then I think the intake it was like 130, I think. Great performance off the rip, and then when you put the tune on it, it's a lot better. And then as you can see in the rear, I have a video on this as well. I did the YSS rear suspension. I think that is a must-have. For more comfort on the bike. Your heavier riders. I'm a 200-pound rider, and this rear shock absorber is fantastic for the bike. I felt like the stock shock absorber on the Grom was just way too, not cushiony, but it was like super bouncy. It didn't have that stiffness, that firmness. This YSS suspension definitely helps out with that. I think this is about, I can't remember off the top of my head, maybe 150, 160. I'll also have a link down in the description to that. And then I did the TST fender delete. I think the bike looks horrible with that stupid fender they have. I did the TST fender delete, and then we did the Sequential brake light, that also does the turn signal. I have an install video on the brake light, the rear fender delete, and then I did the LED license plate bracket, and then I took off the factory turn signals and got the, I think they're the BL6 with the daytime running lights and turn signals. And then also I did the RAM mount for my cell phone. I definitely highly recommend that in case you want to put your maps on or whatever. And then I did the bar end mirrors. I got rid of the, I call them like little alien antennas. Got rid of those and added these bar end mirrors. I also have a video on that. I'll have a link down the description to the mirrors. And then the biggest overall performance mod that I can say I did was the DH Motoring cam. It definitely woke the bike up, definitely on top end. This bike has no problem getting to 65 mile an hour plus with me being a 200-pound rider, and it just keeps wanting to go. You can shift way past 8,000 RPMs. The bike just feels strong, healthy. So super recommend doing the cam as well. Even if you're not that experienced in these little small engines, I'm going to tell you right now, if you watch my video, doing the camshaft was not that hard at all. If you just have a little bit of knowledge on that stuff, you can remove that cam and put it in the bike. And the hardest part was getting that cam sprocket back on. That was the hardest part because it didn't seem like there was that much tension. It was just super tight. So once you get past that part, boom, slap that sucker in, get everything back aligned, make sure you find top dead center, and then you adjust your valves to 0.005. And I explained all that in the video as well. But I think overall, the cam paired with the intake and exhaust has extremely woke this bike up. But now, if you're going to get the intake and exhaust in a tune, I recommend you also buying the cam. If you can afford it, get the cam, intake, and exhaust all in one, so you don't have to send your ECU off. I shipped mine off twice, once for the intake and exhaust, and then the second time I sent it off for the cam flash. So if you can afford to do it all at once, bite the bullet, get all 3 of these, and then you'll get the camshaft, send your ECU in, and you'll get it back with all your with all the goodies that you ordered from them. So next on the list, I'm going to try to get as much power out of this little 125 I can. I'm currently working with DH Motoring to get the high compression piston. Hopefully we'll have that here, hopefully by the end of the year. So be looking for that video coming soon, getting the high compression piston. And yeah, comment down below what all you think else I should do to the bike. And now I've been talking to a friend of mine. We're probably going to vinyl wrap the bike. I'm not sure what color yet. I'd like to find a color like maybe like a Nardo gray or something to match the Type R. Not 100% sure if that's going to happen, but that would be super cool. I have another rear shock. I have a Hyper Pro rear shock that I'm going to be swapping out, and then I am going to rebuild the forks also for a 200-pound rider. That should drastically change how far down, you know, when you hit the brakes, the bike does all that dipping and stuff. And then I'd like to get some different tires. I kind of like I'd like to get some street/trail tires. I'm not really sure on that yet, but comment down below and let me know what all you have done to your bike or which way I should go next. Everything about this bike is very, very simple. I mean, the oil filters here, you know, 1 quart of oil, super easy. I have a video on that as well on how to change that. I'm not looking forward to rebuilding the front forks. I heard it's kind of a pain in the rear, but I have to get a huge 14 millimeter wrench to do that. Okay, so like I was mentioning, you need, first off, we got to take the entire front of the bike apart, break down the actual front forks, get them off. And then under this cap right here, there's like a 14 millimeter wrench Allen key that you're going to need, a big one. And I'm a little nervous about taking the whole front end apart, but man, if I put a camshaft in this, I can definitely rebuild the forks. And then maybe we'll do upgraded front brakes, maybe brake lines with different fluid. What else? You know, I haven't really done a top speed run on this bike, but I've gotten it to 70 miles an hour, not downhill, straight, flat surface, boom, not even tucked. One thing that I probably will change is this Amazon exhaust. It is extremely, extremely loud. I need to just go ahead and bite the bullet and get the Yosh exhaust. It is very, 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 very loud. But being that I have the cam now, you have to run the Yosh without the baffle too. So I haven't heard what the Yosh sounds like without a baffle, but the point of this video was just to tell you all the steps that I would take. If you, at the end of the day, it comes down to what do you want out of your bike? Do you want more driver mods? Do you want more performance? Do you want, you know, comfort? You want a different seat? You want a new shock? But in my opinion, the intake's a must. The exhaust is a must. Rear shock absorber is a must. The camshaft's not necessarily a must. Some people will be happy with just the intake and exhaust and a tune, but I wanted to take it to the next level. Hence, why I'm also going to do the high compression piston. But ultimately, it's up to you. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what else I should do or what else you would like to see done to the bike. And I will tell you, I may or may not have a Honda Navi come in January, which I'm super excited about. I don't know why, but it's something about that is just perfect for cruising alongside the beach. I think it's going to be an awesome bike. It is carbureted. I think it's a 110 or 109 cc. But comment down below what color Navi should I get. I've got a deposit on one, but I haven't, you know, selected the color yet. I think that'll be a super fun, you know, bike to build per se. More or less along the lines of a scooter, but you still got to get a tag on it. Yeah, I think the Honda Navi build is going to be cool. And hopefully DHM does some research and development and we can figure something out. Hopefully somebody does an intake and exhaust. And I'm sure TST will do other aesthetic mods as well. But yeah, as far as the Grom goes, that's what we got done to the bike. Hopefully I named everything. I think I have. The bike has almost 1,000 miles on it now. I've loved every single mile I put on it. And yeah, super excited to do the high compression piston and to get that Honda Navi. So I'll load up the Grom and the Navi in the back of the truck. And cool thing about the Navi is that, you know, it's got a CVT, so automatic transmission. So my girlfriend will teach her how to ride it, and we can go ride the beach together. I think that'll be a really cool experience and good bonding time. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and if you're stopping to the channel for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.